Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to, I'm going to share my screen and share desktop. Share. Oh, no, I don't want to share that desktop. All right, we're going to do this. Switch the desktops. Okay, so basically what we're going to go over, this is the map activity for lesson 1.2, and we're focusing on chapter 1, lesson 2, hence the lesson 1.2. Okay, so in this you're learning more about geography. We're just going to review some things about maps. And one of the things we need to talk about are the 5 themes of geography. Okay, you've got location, place, regions, movement, and human-environment interaction. We were going to play a game about these, but there's no students here, so I'm all by myself, so I'm not going to play a game by myself, okay? So hopefully next time more people show up, guys, and leave me all alone. Anyway, you need to know the 5 themes. They're in your book, but there's a more fun way to learn them, but we can't do it with just me. So, moving on to maps. In the lesson resources, of course, you don't have access to your online textbook, but this map might be in there. Okay, we're looking at the population of the United States in 1820. So, this is a population map. Okay, it's going to tell us about the population of the United States. This is the map key. Okay, this is the scale. This is the title. All right, so those are the 3 main things you need to know about a map. The map key tells you what the little symbols mean. The scale tells you this is the real measurement. And actually, it's 400 miles for this distance. What is that, about 2 inches? Okay, so if you moved this, which I believe, oh, you can't do it on this one. Some of them you can actually pick it up and move it, some of the interactive maps. And you can kind of see the distance between places. And the compass rose, that was another one. Okay, I don't know why that's off the screen. Weird. Okay, so the compass rose is another that just tells you that this way is north, this way is south, this way is east, and going this way is west. Okay. All right, so that's one of the maps. And this is another type of map. This is a physical map. And it tells me the landforms, okay, where the different landforms are. Elevations, if I click on this, it puts in the elevations. So obviously the orange is very high. Let me see if I can fix this. There we go. The orange is 1,000 feet. The light orange is 300 feet, and so on, down below sea level. And you can see Florida is mostly green, light green, and yellow. It is all green, light green, and yellow, actually. So you can see the elevations. That's just how high the land goes. We're very low land. We have very low land here. All right, state boundaries. We can take those off. The mountain peaks. Put those back on. We're not going to see many here, okay? So you see one showed up here in very north of the Panhandle, almost to, I believe that's Alabama right there, I think. I'm going to put the state boundary back in. Yeah, that's Alabama. Swamps, okay. You can see the swamps. There's a little map key here, okay. And you can turn all layers on. So we're back to the elevation map. Okay, so this is called a physical map. It's got your map key here, and this one's interactive, meaning you can take things off of it. Here's the compass rose. We've got the title, Physical Map Florida. And what was the other thing we were looking for? Oh, a scale. Okay, this one has a scale bar down, way down here. So about an inch is 100 kilometers. That distance right there is like 3/4 of an inch. That's about 50 miles. Okay. All right, so we'll get out of that one. And this is called a population density map. I always liked looking at these.
On the map represents 7,500.
Okay.
Notice the areas where the dot
Each dot represents 7,500 people. Okay. So you can see where there's more red, there's more people.
Click on the areas.
So that's just an interesting map to look at. Where are the most people that live in the United States? They live in the eastern part of the United States, okay? All right. So, good. We went through some of our main ideas here on maps. Now, regarding your assignment, and this is for my kids who are not in the advanced class, okay? You're going to create a map, and you can do it on paper and text me a picture of it or email me a picture of it. But it can be any map. I want a map from you. It could be a map of your house, a map of your neighborhood, a map of your school. But I want you to create a map. It needs to have a key, map key, so it needs to have symbols, and then tell me what those symbols mean in the map key. It needs to have a compass rose, so I know where north, south, east, and west are. And a title. Okay? So those are your 4 requirements. Title, symbols, key, telling you what the symbols are, and a compass rose. Okay? And you can do it online if you want to get fancy, or you can just draw it on a piece of paper and email me a picture. Anyway, that's the assignment for my students who are not in the advanced course. Okay, so this recording is for my students who are in the advanced course. Okay, and we're going to take a look at some historical maps. So right now you should have already watched the review of different kinds of maps that are in the in the textbook online. And that was a recording that I did. And now we're going to look at this project. I think this is the link right here. And I'll put this obviously in the course as well. Actually, wait a minute. Okay, so we're just going to choose a map here. And we're going to answer some questions about it. And then you're going to do one for your assignment. You're going to choose a map from the collections, and you're going to answer some questions. Okay, so these are all historical maps. You can pick, let's say, Civil War maps. We'll pick one of these. I like the Civil War. I like learning more about it, I should say. Okay, so let's pick the battlefield at Gettysburg. See if we can get it bigger. Okay, so this is going to be kind of challenging, like reading these, all right? So the first question is, what is the title of your map, and what does it tell you about the map? Okay, so the title of the map that I chose is the Battlefield of Gettysburg. And what does that tell us about the map? Well, I know a little bit about Gettysburg. It's a town in Pennsylvania where a big battle of the Civil War was fought and a lot of people died. So I assume they're going to be showing me where the battle was. I've never actually been there. Some of you may have. When was this map made? Okay. So that might be hard to see. That's why we go in. Oh, it's not too hard to see. Okay. So July 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 1863. What significant historical events were happening around this time in the countries on which the map focuses? Okay, well, this is the United States. What was happening in 1863 in the United States? I happen to know because I'm a big fan of the Civil War, or not a big fan, I shouldn't say that. I like learning about the Civil War. So that in 1863, the Civil War was still going on. All right, so this was made during the war, after the Gettysburg, I imagine, if they're making the map about it, right? What symbols are found on this map, and what do they mean? Okay, so now I'm going to look for symbols. I'm going to go zoom out again. All right, we're going to look real close. I don't see any symbols right now. I'm going to have to go in further. Okay, so these lines, those are hills, I believe. Okay, but it doesn't really tell me. There's names. I wonder if those are Penn College. Those are places, maybe? People farms? What is this? County? What does that say? Almshouse? Okay, so these are different places, maybe farms, some of them. I wonder what these little things are. Harrisburg Road. Okay, so you're just going to examine the map that you chose and do your best to find, you know, the answers to the questions, okay? I'm assuming this little line here is like the railroad, maybe? It's going, yep, Hanover Railroad. It's going right into town. That makes sense. This is the town. I can tell that. Okay, but there's no key to this, is there? So I wonder what this was used for. They don't have a map key. I don't see one. So lots of questions. Okay. Some other questions. What other information as this are found on this map? So is there a latitude, a longitude, a compass rose? We saw railroads. We saw places. So you can. This is where you can list all those things that you found. Maybe you didn't find, you know, something else, but you found lots of things. I wonder what this is right here. Maybe that's like a mountain or something. Round Top. Yeah, it must be some sort of mountain. What does this map tell you about the perception of the world at the time in which this map was created? Well, you know, you think about the time period, 1863. You know, people didn't have cell phones. They didn't even have cars. So, you know, you just have to kind of think of the context in which people would have looked at this map and try to do your best to answer those questions. Okay? And if you have any questions on this assignment, you know, just email me or call me and I'll help you with it, okay? So that's what you're going to do, is you're going to pick a map from this website and you're going to answer the questions about the map you chose. Okay, and make sure it's a U.S. history map, a map from U.S. history. Okay?